Hi guys, this is Sam from Commuter Hero, and this is the Schwalbe Marathon, one of the best commuting tires that money can buy. And I have purchased these tires along with 3 other sets of tires about 6 weeks ago, and this is the first set that I tested out. If you go on any forum, these are recommended as probably the best tires that money can buy when it comes to commuting. Now in 6 weeks, I've been testing them. I took them on gravel roads, I took them on pavement, I took them on wet roads, dry roads, all kinds of conditions. Obviously, you can't ride thousands of miles in 6 weeks, but I did my best to put them through their paces. You can actually see that this was probably the rear tire because it's worn more than the front one. I skidded with them, I rode through thumbtacks with them and rose bushes and all kinds of dire conditions. There are a few things that you need to know about these tires, and this video is about that. The first thing is that these offer great puncture resistance. This tire has a 5mm thick layer, protective layer that protects your inner tube. So if anything pierces through the tire wall, through the tire, there's a 5mm thick rubber here that the bike is running on, and it protects your inner tube. So even if you don't run tubeless, your inner tube is pretty well protected. The second thing you need to know about this tire is that it's a very comfortable tire. It's a robust tire, heavy tire, which makes it also very comfortable. It rolls over things really well because of the weight. When it picks up momentum, then it just shakes, it smoothens out the buzz that comes from the road. It rolls over objects very easily, and it's a very comfortable tire. The next thing also comes from the weight. It's a heavy tire, so it's not a very fast tire. It's rather slow, but it doesn't mean that you cannot go fast with it. But you do feel a difference between this tire and the light racing tire. So I thought the difference was going to be bigger in terms of speed, but you can feel it more in terms of agility. So you're not as agile. You feel that the bike reacts different when you use these tires. The next thing is that this tire lasts a long time. There are some people who rode it for thousands of miles, in fact tens of thousands of miles. I saw one guy who had to say goodbye to his beloved Schwalbe Marathon Plus tires because he came to the end of his road trip. I think it was after 15,000 miles or so, something crazy, and he was running on the protective layer, the inner layer, because he wore off the black part, the rubber part. So it lasts a long time. The next thing is that it offers really good grip. Now I was a bit concerned about this because the profile of this tire is pretty round, and I thought that the contact patch would be a bit too narrow with the road, but honestly, even on wet road, it offered plenty of grip, and I felt comfortable leaning into corners and going with this tire. It was really good. The next thing that you need to know is it has this reflective sidewall, which I really love. So in my opinion, every commuter tire should have reflective sidewalls, because if you ride at night and the car is coming from the side, it approaches you from the side, then it bounces the light back and it lets the driver know that you're there. It's a great safety feature. The next thing that you need to know about this tire is that this tire is not cheap. It costs somewhere between $50 and $60, and for the current pricing, I'm going to leave an Amazon link in the description so you can check it out and pick it up if you want to. But it's not a cheap tire. You can get tires for way less than this tire. For example, I tested the Continental Ride Tour tire, which was my commuter tire for a long time. I'm going to put a card here so you can check out the review of that tire, and I really love that tire, and it's a fraction of the price. But it doesn't come with that protective layer, with that great puncture protection. Mind you, I never had a single flat on my commute because of that tire. And then the last thing that you need to know is that this tire is not super easy to mount. This tire takes some effort. I saw this guy, it was probably an old bike mechanic on YouTube. It's a more than 10-year-old video at this stage. He puts on the Schwalbe Marathon or the Marathon Plus tires with his own hands, like bare hands, using no tire levers. I tried his technique and it didn't work for me. I had to use my tire levers, and it took me about 5 minutes to get these tires on, each of them. Now, putting on the tires once is not a big deal, but how easy it is to mount them is a big deal, because you may get a puncture. If you get a puncture, say on your commute on a morning, and when you're in a hurry and maybe it's raining or it's cold or it's dark, you don't want to be messing for minutes or half an hour with a tire. But in my opinion, the fact that it's not very easy to mount is not a huge problem, because this offers really good puncture protection. So I'm really happy with this. I am going to keep this tire, and I think I will use it again in the future. Now I'm testing more of my tires. I've got the Continental I've got the Continental Contact, the Continental Contact Plus, and the Schwalbe Marathon, which is not the Marathon Plus. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see those reviews coming up, then subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Pedal on, take care, bye bye.